What's up, YouTube? Can you hear me? Am I online yet? All right, I think we're live. What's up, guys? It's been way too long since I've done one of these updates, and just wanted to let everyone know what's going on. I haven't talked to Ken or heard from him in over a month now, and really, last time I talked to him, I think he's just gotten, I don't know, I think the exposure's gone to his head, getting like a couple 100,000 views or something. Oh, my volume's low. Let me turn it up a little bit. Hold on a second. How's that, guys? Got a little bit better? Super low audio. How about that? Is that better? I turned the gain up on my mic. Can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me? Tad, but still low. There we go. How about that now? I'm turned up all the way. I got my condenser mic back. I actually found it. When I moved, I lost a bunch of stuff. And I just went back and found it recently, so I was able to get that. I'm going to be refunding all our investors, just so you guys know. Ken hasn't talked to me. Don't know what's going on. I assume it was a scam, because as soon as I started asking him, I told him, hey, we got enough money. I'm going to get a plane ticket and come down there, and we're going to go over everything, and you can show me all the stuff that you couldn't show me, you know, in all our online stuff, because everything in our online conversations is obviously recorded by the NSA and whoever else monitors and controls the internet. So there was a lot of stuff we just held back on and didn't discuss, I felt, because of that, because it was proprietary and stuff. So when I started talking to him about actually flying down there to meet him and go over everything, yeah, I'm sorry, guys, if it's still a little bit low. I have my thing turned up all the way. I don't want to turn the gain up super high on that. But, yeah, so I don't know what happened, but as soon as I started talking about that and coming down there and taking a plane down there for a week to go and look at everything and get like an in-depth look at Phoenix theory, he said, oh, well, you know, I'm starting to have trust issues with you, and I don't know if I can trust you. And he was going after me based on, it's a long story. There's some other things that we were going on. We were looking for a facility, and I'm trying to look at places, geographic location, human resources, what kind of people are in those areas, just all these different factors, land costs, construction costs, all the different things for building our facility, where we're going to build it, what we're going to do, how we're going to build it. I've been looking into all the construction management for like what I wanted to build for our facility. And I was looking at different places, and Las Vegas turned out to be not a very good place. But Ken had his heart like set on Las Vegas based on some astrocartography that he believes in, and it's basically astrology. And he's just really into this astrology and these weird esoteric things that I'm you know, not very super scientific, and I understand how they can be perceived as true, but I don't really necessarily believe in them. But he started calling me, telling me that I was greedy and money hungry by nature because I'm a Taurus, and not to mention that all humans are greedy and money hungry in nature. And but rather than me being the one getting weird about the money, it's Ken that started getting weird about all of our money, and he predated the contract so that it went back to October instead of December when we actually started the company. So it went back 3 months, and he wanted to go back through all my financial records and go after like all my stuff. And then he pulled out this Bitcoin money that I had won as a prize. I did that 9/11 documentary. People have known my work on 9/11. I've researched 9/11 for over 15 years, and I made that documentary 9/11 Inside Out, and it was featured at last year's 9/11 Film Festival, for which I won an award. And this group sent me some Bitcoin, and he started going after that Bitcoin and the money, the source of that Bitcoin money and everything. And he found out that the guy who gave it to me happened to have parents that were Russian, and so he thinks that there's some big Russian conspiracy going on. And Ken's got a lot of weird ideas about the Russians. He kept repeating to me several times that actually he believed that the Russians were controlling Trump because Russians somehow had a video of Donald Trump having sex with underage boys. That's what Ken believes, and that the Russians are controlling Trump and the government and stuff. So I don't know. He's got some really weird and far out ideas that I couldn't really get on board with, especially the heart set on Las Vegas as being the place where we had to put Hover Brothers and our facility, when Las Vegas is espionage like central. It's the capital of like the world. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. I just said I'm going to refund all our investors, and putting myself in a partnership and tying myself legally to a partnership where I'm now bound under contract with Hover Brothers with Ken was really not a good idea, not a smart maneuver. I should have really met him and had everything and known I could trust him before I went through and did that. It's just a learning lesson, and it's something that I hope other people can take away from this too as well. And yeah, it did seem kind of far-fetched, although I do want to point out that you guys, there is a lot of evidence out there and a lot of people doing research into quantum entanglement and gravity, and trying to reconcile those connections and figure out what those connections are. Ken's never explained that. Phoenix theory, what he's shown so far and what we've shown through the videos, has never gone that far. It still can't explain nuclei, heavier nuclei or nucleons, and it can't explain gravity. And he hasn't explained gravity or quantum gravity. These things he said he's going to come out with in the second and the third papers, these and the Holy Grail and everything. You know, I really believed him, and he really had me sold on this for a while, and I thought I was going to go down there and meet with him and get privy to the stuff, and we were going to get a laboratory and actually do this. But, you know, now I kind of realize that maybe that was a little bit far-fetched, and it kind of taught me a lot about things in the process, too, because, right, the whole reason that we did Hover Brothers and we set this thing up and put this thing together, right, was because of Tom DeLonge and what he was trying to do with To the Stars. I wanted to see if it could be done, how it could be done. I wanted to learn the insides and outs of this whole process. And what I learned about SEC filing and that whole process is that they will go after you. If we file with the SEC, which we had investors ready to give us the money and get the SEC filings done. What they would have done is they would have sued us for defrauding investors before we could ever prove that we weren't defrauding people, is what would have happened. And they would have shut us down. The government could just shut us. Yeah, that's the thing. Is am I going to say that whether Ken is an agent? That's what someone asked in the comments. Do I think Ken's an agent? I mean, going after my financial records, it did really. I really opened up to Ken as a friend and a person, and I really regret that now, because seeing as what he did to me. Yeah, no, I thought the theory was so interesting, and I really wanted to see more and look deeper into it. But the fact that he could accuse me of just not having, tell me he doesn't trust me, and then say that I would accuse me of being a sellout. Like I would, and the Bitcoin wasn't even a lot of money. It's like I would sell out $1 billion idea for a couple months rent. Like, are you serious? Like I go to work like. This whole past month, I've been working full time, sometimes overtime. A couple weeks, I've been working on Saturdays too. I work in construction. I don't work for the government. I'm a lonely construction worker. I mean, we make good money in construction. Trust me, I make way better money in construction than I ever made with any glorified technician job that I ever got with my physics degree. Let me tell you that. But it's kind of disheartening that I was hoping for something better and another chance at something, and putting something together, and this kind of tied my hands. It bound me down by tying myself to another person, and it just seems like, yeah, maybe he was put out there to really tear down my confidence, discredit my channel, and or do whatever else. I could imagine all these things, that he could have been an agent or hired to, just as he can accuse me or say that I was hired to steal Phoenix theory from him. I could accuse him of all these things, which make a lot more sense than his theory, because literally 500 views cumulative is what he had on those videos of him sitting on his bed with the stuffed animal explaining his Phoenix theory, and that was the only exposure Phoenix theory had. So nobody knew about this theory. Who's going to pay big money to somebody? And I didn't even have anything at the time. Back in October, when I got that money for after September had passed, I got the money for that documentary. He hadn't even told me anything. We didn't even get into any of the real theory until like December. And above what we've already shared with the public, he hasn't really shown me too much more. I mean, there's a couple things, but I really think that what we could do, it'd be better off if, yeah, I don't want to encourage other people not to go to college, but I just there's a lot of comments I'm trying to read and still get my ideas across, but guys, it's just really upsetting to me. I've been working full time. I have an 18-month-old baby boy. It takes a lot of my time just taking care of my kid. They're out right now, and I feel bad for not going out, but I just wanted to get this stuff across. And yeah, I know he's got some amazing stuff, and I hope that everything's okay with him. I really tend to be more on the side that the exposure got to him, it got to his ego a lot, getting that many views, getting that much exposure, and that many people contacting you. And he really seemed like he was getting sucked into a lot of the negative comments out there, because the comments are filled with just trolls from YouTube. And I just tried to explain that to him. There's no need to respond to these people. Let's just get a laboratory and we'll start doing experiments and try to get this stuff done. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Let the experiments do the talking. Don't even waste your breath on these people. And talk to the people that want to give us money to try and research this stuff. Don't talk to those people that that are just trying to bring you down. Talk to the people that are trying to bring you up and ready to hand you money to do it with. And he just ran from those people. He was afraid of them. Didn't want to talk to them. And accusing me of being greedy and being too ambitious and too whatever. But he was missing meetings. We were scheduling these live streams and trying to connect with people and connect with a larger audience and stuff. And he was missing those meetings. It's scheduled meetings. And I was taking off time from work to like do this full time. This was my job. Hover Brothers was going to be my job full time. I was like taking time off of work. So when I miss a meeting, it's like me missing work if I'm taking time off to do this. So I really felt like he was just, not being as serious or as motivated to do everything as I was. And I just decided to go back to work at that point, and I've been back to work full-time since then, just, trying to answer emails and manage this in the process. But Ken hasn't really done much of anything. I've been working in the process on just getting the whole facility straightened out and getting, I just want to get like a whole list of everything we need with a whole accounting, so I can be like, this is how much money I want, and I need to get a loan for this and do it. But I really don't even want to go at that point with that route anymore. I don't like borrowing people's money, and I don't like owing people money. I'd rather save up, and I think I want to get my own house with a garage and start doing some like small scale experiments like on my own. In addition to some of the contacts that I've made, maybe save up some travel money and go visit some of the people and some of the other labs and some of the other people that I've made contact with through Hover Brothers. We've gotten a lot of emails and gotten back in touch with a lot of really cool people, including people from NASA and other labs that are doing similar things, just experiments and stuff out there. I really don't have much faith in DeLong or his team. I think that the fact that they have an SEC filing and they haven't been sued yet just shows that they're protected by someone, or they just, obviously as their policy says, they don't have anything in there that requires them to do research on anti-gravity that they can be sued for. But I really, I'm convinced after doing more research over on Tom DeLong and Hal Puthoff and these other guys that these guys are the disinformation. They're part of what the heck is, everything that's wrong, and everything that they've put out so far has been just junk, and it's not going to change anything or do anything. What we really need to stay focused on is the technology and the science, and these people are not trying to put it out there. They've got it all confused, and they're just putting disinformation out there. It's ridiculous. My first experiment. All right. Well, the thing is, I wanted to jump. Ken really wanted to jump straight into quantum entanglement, and get right involved with the quantum entanglement, specifically what's called creating pairs and anti-pairs, and using that the antimatter as a shield, and doing the experiments with the antimatter by creating antimatter from the vacuum using high enough energy states and lasers. That was going to be our first experiment. But if I had a lab in my own setup with some, I think I'm going to start, there's plenty of other cheaper experiments that I could start doing, that I'm going to start putting my money towards, and doing some very soon, including drop tests involving magnets that are placed together. Someone said if you pose magnets with the fields opposing, and you tape them together, that the energy states involved in those magnetic fields cause some disruption of gravity. I'd like to check that out. I really want to do, though, is these experiments. I've been looking at a lot of stuff recently with how to use copper tools and vibrations to cut rock. That's harder than copper, because normally copper chisels and copper tools couldn't have been used to really shape and mill stone. But there's a theory going around that perhaps if you used gem or crystal embedded bronze with high frequency vibrations, that you might be able to cut stone much faster with that method. So I wanted to basically get some sounds and vibrations, get really high frequency vibrations, and use those sounds, kind of like that Waz scepter. There's been a lot of videos about this, the Waz scepter from ancient Egypt, being a tuning fork on the end, and that the tuning fork was the frequency that they could tune to the frequency of a rock, and use that as literally as a staff or a cutting tool, using vibration to cut the rock. And it's an interesting theory, but I'd like to do some personalized experiments with stone milling and cutting of stone in a laboratory, just to test it out, to see if it could be done, or if it's viable method for cutting rock using ancient techniques. I mean, pre-Iron Age techniques. The cold fusion stuff is great. I really would like to get more in touch with some of the guys back at MIT. Mitchell Schwartz, he has a lab over in Wellesley, Mass, that I really want to get into and go visit him below. He just is really reclusive and secluded, and hard to get a hold of. I've written him emails, and he doesn't really respond back. And Peter Hagelstein, it would be cool to get a hold of some of those guys and do some, see some cold fusion experiments, and get more involved in that. I think that's what I need to start doing, branching more out to other labs, also doing some of my own experiments here, but also just investigating and doing more videos and stuff. I really think that, I don't know what's going on with those break-ins that happen at my house, man. Like, I swear I locked the door when I left, checked it, and locked it. I remember doing it. And my girlfriend calls me and tells me that she comes home and the door's wide open. Nothing's touched, nothing's taken. The whole house is fine. It's just the door was left wide open, and it's just really creepy and spooky. Like they were looking for something or going in. It happened twice. Yeah, it happened twice, and I remember locking the door. I always lock my door. It's part of my routine, getting my keys and locking my door behind me. But the door was left wide open, unlocked, and I don't know what the heck was going on. And unfortunately, I didn't have the security system in place that day. But it's I know I want to do more with the content creation and videos, man, but it's hard. I work full time, and it's like YouTube doesn't pay you anything, especially since YouTube went after all the conspiracy channels, and Google AdSense stopped giving money to people with conspiracy channels. They really bugs and traps would be and taps would be cool. I've already done a little sweep for some of those. I got to get a metal detector though. So much to do, but it's just I don't know. Not that I have anything to hide anyway, or that I'm doing anything wrong. Even if they had a bug in my house, it's like, I don't know. It's just ridiculous, dude. It's I make so much more money going to work. I get a paycheck every week. I make like $800 to $1,000 a week if I work overtime and stuff, and I can make even more than that if I stay at this job for a couple of years and get my journeyman license, and you know. But it's just I don't know. I need to do what's best for my family. All the benefits and stuff from working. It's just, you know, I get health insurance and all this other stuff, and I could do YouTube full time, but it's hard. It's not easy. I don't think it would do. What do I do for work, man? I'm a carpenter. I work as a construction worker for the union here in Rhode Island, and makes more money than any glorified technician job, you know, that I've ever had. So, and the benefits and everything are there. So, and there's a big future in construction. There's always stuff going on, and I've just prided myself on trying to learn every different type and method of construction. I've been building things and taking them apart my entire life, and I've done electrical work too. I have my low voltage license here in Rhode Island, and you know, I do all kinds of stuff, dude. So I'm multi-talented. I try to play guitar and write my own music too, but we'll see where that goes too. But yeah, don't do it. YouTube doesn't pay enough. I only have 80,000 subscribers, and people aren't interested in the truth, dude. The truth doesn't sell. Like I've thought about it. The only way that I could get away with doing full time on YouTube is if I made fake videos. If I started doing like fake UFO videos and just pumping out disinformation, dude, oh, my viewership would go up huge, and I'd have, yeah, Taunton, Mass, dude. Hey, that's right near me, man. That's cool. But yeah, it's just crazy, dude. You can't do it. If I jumped into YouTube full time, it wouldn't pay the bills. It wouldn't do it. And like the only way you could do it is if you sold disinformation, and I don't want to do that. I'm not gonna turn my 10 channel into Secure Team 10, dude. I'm not gonna sell trash. You know, I could. There's so much stuff. So. Yeah, right. Fake. If you put fake UFO videos, dude, I could do better fake UFO videos. You wouldn't even know they were fake. That's how good I could do, man. Yeah, he isn't fake, but he's gullible as fuck, right? I guess you're right. Maybe Secure Team 10 isn't fake. He's just really, really dumb and gullible. He just believes stuff. Nah, I would never sell my soul, Sherry. I can't stand those. I can't stand the disinformation. It's like I would never do that. But it just sucks that you know, my dreams for Hover Brothers and what we were gonna do with this company fell through the way they did. I really thought we were gonna be able to do something. But I tell you what, there's lots of other people out there and lots of other real serious labs and academic research being conducted into quantum entanglement and gravity. And best believe that video did wake some people up, even if the first half of it did, even if the second half was like a sales pitch that turned everyone off and called us scammers and all those other messages we saw. I took all the videos down. I might put a few of them back up. I'm going to take down all the ones with Hover Brothers, just business-wise, after that, and just keep this one. Yeah, definitely. Of all the research I've done into into gravity and understanding gravity and quantum gravity, this whole idea that quantum entanglement is like the key, definitely makes a lot of sense. But just how and how exactly that works and how you get to overcome it is really the trick. And I think there needs to be a lot more work done on that. So yeah. So if anyone wants to join the stream, we can talk about some other cool stuff. Actually, I'm gonna end this video for now right here, and then I'm gonna start a new one with a new stream. So I'll go ahead and post the link for all those people who want to join the hangout, and we're gonna start trying to do more of these hangouts in the future to talk about more like science and conspiracies and stuff like that. So anyone who wants to join and bring up a topic. And we'll start a new video after this. I just wanted to make this video as a kind of an announcement for what happened with Hover Brothers. And yeah, Ken got really weird on me, and I have to back out of the contract with him and just try to figure out what I can do on my own, and I'm refunding all our investors. I've been sending out refunds to everyone on the list. There are a few people that I won't let me refund through PayPal. I have to like literally send you the money back. So contact me at info@hoverbrothers.com if you, and with refund in capital letters in the subject line, and with your email that you sent the PayPal from, and I will certainly do my best to get those funds returned to you. If we don't hear from you, the policy is if PayPal doesn't, if you don't accept the refund within 90 days or something, you have 90 days to accept the refund, and if you don't accept it, it will permanently go to me at that point. So we're going to offer everyone the option to have a refund, but if some people opt not to, all the money that's left over at the end, which will then be left in my account, I promise that, you know, again, all that's going to be used for this channel and doing good, and I'm not going to touch it because for other purposes, because I go to work and I make my own money and I have money and I have a good job and I don't need to do that. So I'd rather save that money for plane tickets to go visit other labs, or conferences, or other things like that. And again, in the future, I just hope that I can meet more real people who don't have such serious trust issues, people that are serious and hard workers like myself. You know, I feel like I almost want to give up on people entirely, man, after this. It's like I put so much faith and trust in Ken, and after being hurt and just betrayed by so many people in the past, like including Ed Fouché and so many others, it's just hard for me to, but you know, I don't think I'm completely done yet. I hope that there's still good people out there, and that maybe someday we'll be able to meet up and do something. You know, I don't know. Yeah, I'm never gonna give up, guys. But again, I'll post that link for everyone who wants it. Join up in the Google Hangout, and I'm going to be restarting the stream and hopefully try to fix my audio, make my mic a little bit louder. All right, guys.